What's going on, man? Frank Rich here, and you may or may not know me, but over a decade ago, I was in the exact same position you are in right now. You see, I was searching for the way to build my body. I wanted to get as much muscle as I could possibly have, but I was sick and tired of these programs that were providing lackluster results. Everything that was out there was teaching me I had to go through extreme bulking and then excessive cutting cycles. And for somebody that struggled with weight as a young kid and child, I was sick and tired of having to put on 30 to 40 pounds of fat just to end up with only a few pounds of muscle. I knew there was a better way. I knew that there was a way that people with subpar genetics could ultimately build the body that they always dreamed and desired to have. So I started to dig into more of the research and starting to understand how the body worked and really looking into the biomechanics. And what I realized, there was one thing that all of these programs were missing. It wasn't the exercises that we were doing. There's only so many exercises that are available to us, but it was really digging into the programming. See, what we have to understand is that our bodies and our muscles have a very specific ability to produce output. And with everything that we do, every exercise, every movement, there's gonna be certain points within those where we are much stronger and certain points where we are very weak. And this is what's called our strength curve. Now, at the same time, every exercise that we do, whether it's with a free weight, cable, machine, is going to provide a certain level of resistance. There's going to be certain points within these movements where it's really, really hard and certain points where it's much easier. And this is known as the resistance profile. So understanding the relationship between your strength curve and your resistance profile is going to be your most effective way and most efficient way to build muscle. Now, what I realized that there was nobody out there that was teaching this. There were no programs that fully maximized this relationship. So I dedicated a year of my life to designing the most effective program that's going to take into account this relationship. And what I developed is what's known as precision hypertrophy principles. These principles take into account the strength profile of every single movement that we do. It understands how our body is going to adapt and work through strengths and work through weaknesses. And then in the same time, understanding these resistance profiles and blending them together. So we want to design the most effective and most efficient way to build muscle, and that's what I have for you today. So if you've been training for any length of time, if you've been training for a year, 5 years, even 10 years, and you're sick and tired of hitting plateaus, and you want to build your greatest physique, what I have for you today is I have the program that's going to help you build your greatest body. Aesthetic Muscle is a 12-week muscle building program developed through 3 cycles, 3 phases of training. We're going to start off with a neurological base training. This is where we're priming our body. We're putting the movements that are going to most adapt our body to building muscle. The next 5 weeks of training are going to be your hypertrophy training phase. This is where you're focused solely on building as much muscle as possible at the cellular level. And then for the final 4 weeks of the program, we're working through a metabolic training phase. This is where we're really going to start to carve out and define some of that muscle that we put on through the hypertrophy-based training. So if you're ready to get started, if you're sick and tired of programs that have lackluster results and want to join an elite group of men worldwide that are building their greatest physiques, hit the link below and let's get started today.